Hi, my name is Lexi Sebrin, and I'm the blogger behind lifeloveandmedicine.com. I started my blog about a year ago, right before I started my first year of medical school, because I wanted to have a place to use as a creative outlet during medical school, as well as give advice to people going through. When I started my blog, my husband told me that I should really consider doing YouTube videos, and I didn't want to at first because I wanted to just take some time to focus on figuring out blogging before I did anything else. But it's been a year. I'm about to start my second year of medical school, and I thought that it was time to give YouTube a try and maybe have it supplement my blog posts. So you can check out my blog and subscribe to this channel and never miss an update. So for this first video, I wanted to talk about how I got to medical school, because I remember when I was a pre-med, I really liked watching YouTube videos and hearing everyone's stories because it's also different for everyone. So I was actually interested in science from a very young age. I remember in elementary school, I had a science textbook that had lightning on the front, and I thought, oh my gosh, I get to learn about lightning this year? That's so cool. And so that initially sparked my interest, and it continued all the way through high school. And in high school, after my sophomore year, I got a chance to do a program called A Heck of a Summer, where I followed all kinds of healthcare professionals around a hospital for a few weeks during one of my summer vacations. And I just really was drawn to the doctors. I liked how they were kind of the problem solvers who got to talk to the patients and figure out what was wrong for them and care for them. And so pretty much from the end of my sophomore year, I started considering being a doctor. So when I was a senior, I had the opportunity to do a research program throughout my whole senior year. And so I also started considering being a PhD and being a scientist. And so I went to college at a small liberal arts university. I'm kind of considering both of those, being an MD, a PhD, or both. And I did research throughout college as well. And I also started volunteering at a clinic, and I just realized that I wanted to have a lot of time with patients, and I also considered MD, PhD, and I felt like with that I probably wouldn't be spending as much time with patients as I really wanted to, so I decided just to apply for my MD. During my junior year is when I started preparing to apply to medical school. So the summer before junior year, I tried to start studying for the MCAT, and I didn't do very well in the course that I was trying to use. I was trying to use the Exam Crackers books, and I didn't really like them. So I signed up for what's called the Holiday Hell Princeton Review course, and I did that over my Christmas break. And it was really tough because it was the first time that I had ever had to study all day, and so I did that for 4 weeks. And then I went back to school for my spring semester in my junior year, and about 2 or 3 weeks into the semester, I took the first MCAT of 2014, which also subsequently was the last year of the old MCAT. So I did that, and I ended up getting the score I wanted the first time. So I spent the rest of my semester working on my personal statement, and my advisor made me go through about 7 drafts of it. So I worked really hard on that, and I asked professors early for letters of recommendation. By that time, I had completed a lot of clinical volunteer hours to put on my resume, so I was working on my resume. And then in May, as soon as the AMCAS application opened, I started working on it. So I spent the whole month of May making sure I had everything done with my application, and then I submitted it the very first day that I could. And I did that because I really felt that I wanted to get everything in early because they get so many applications at medical schools that you don't want them to pass you over. I ended up applying early decision to the medical school that I go to. I considered for a while going out of state, but in the end, it made more financial sense to stay in state because going out of state tuition fees are really expensive, and so I just didn't want that debt burden. So that's why I chose to stay at home. And I'd always heard good things about my medical school as well from physicians in the area. It really ended up being a good decision for me, and I love my medical school. That's kind of my med school story and how I got to medical school, and now I have finished my first year and I'm about to start my second year, and I'm really excited. So that's how I got to medical school. Something else I forgot to mention was that I majored in neuroscience, and that's not typical, but I did that because the biology course the biology major at my school had a lot of plant biology courses in it as well, and I wanted to focus more on mammalian and human systems, so that's why I chose to do neuroscience, because I felt like it would be a little more relevant to a pre-med curriculum. So that's why I did that, but I did all of the same prerequisites that everyone does for the MCAT and got those done as well. And then I minored in religious studies for fun, so that's just a tidbit in case you were wondering. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to email me at lifeloveandmedicine@gmail.com. Check out my blog, lifeloveandmedicine.com. I'll put the link below for you, and I would love to hear from you. Let me know if there are any videos that you really want to see here, or any questions you have about the application process, or let me know if you're in medical school too. I'd love to hear from you.